What's going on, you guys? All right, the time is almost here, and we're going to do a very quick preview for round one between the Washington Capitals and the Montreal Canadiens. And yes, to answer this question for some of you that know that I had access to playoff tickets for round one, yes, I did purchase some, and yes, I have already resold them, unfortunately. So I wanted to go to game three really bad. And the fact is, like I told some of you guys, I had an expense along with my wife come up that we couldn't justify spending the money on playoff tickets this year, unfortunately, though, although that was my plan. You got to be an adult sometimes. You got to be responsible. So the plan is next year, after we have our season tickets locked in, we will be going to the playoffs. That's my plan right now. So to whoever's going, I just got to say it's going to be an awesome atmosphere for game three, no matter what happens in game one and two. But this is what we're going to talk about in this quick little preview before this series starts here. And I want to let you guys know that I will be live streaming games one and games three of this series right here on the Drew Deeks channel with some intermission guests that I'm working on. A little bit of a Habs Tonight reunion, hopefully, for some of us. I just wanted to let you guys know that games 1 and 3 will be live streamed. I won't be showing the game. I'll be showing little clips that I can, a few seconds long at max, because you can't have, it's the fair use policy you have to use with YouTube. So I will be showing a little bit, but not much of the game. So I'll be having my live reaction as I watch the game, along with all of you guys. If you want to have me on in the corner or something, I think it'll just be fun. And for those that can't watch the game, you can certainly watch along. I'll have the score up on the screen. I'll be reacting to it, so that'll be fun. And then I'll still be doing a video reaction edited after every game. As long as this series goes in round one, I'll still be doing a quick recap after every game. It's the playoffs. It's the first time, if you can believe it, that I'll be doing playoff post-game videos on this channel. So I'm going to take advantage of that with you guys and enjoy it. And that's just the quick update for what to expect for this first round series with the Caps. All right. So we just heard that David Sevard will be playing his last games of his NHL career in these playoffs with the Montreal Canadiens for however long they last. So the immediate question, just looking ahead to next season, because I thought I would address it, is who is going to replace David Sevard on the blue line? My first inclination is to guess that Logan Mailloux will get a chance to make the roster out of training camp. And I thought to myself, what about David Reinbacher? But he was injured for a good chunk of this year and again missed more development time, whereas this was Logan Mailloux's second year with the Laval Rocket, and now he's going to go hopefully on a nice playoff run and then gain even more valuable experience to take him into next season and make the NHL right out of camp. I figure if Justin Barron has made the Canadiens out of camp, I think it's twice now, that I think Logan Mailloux will get his chance to prove why he belongs here still, right? So that's my prediction, is that Logan Mailloux will get the first chance to start with the Canadiens next year in David Savard's spot, likely on the third pairing, maybe with Jaden Struble. That's my guess. We'll get to Arber Xhekaj, as I do have some thoughts on Arber Xhekaj, as you guys probably just watched Hockey Junkie's thoughts on Arber Xhekaj in this series. We'll get to Arber in just a moment. So the X factor for this series for the Canadiens, well, big surprise that I'm going to say this, it's going to be Ivan Demidov. I believe if they have any X factor to help turn this series around, I believe it'll be Ivan Demidov. I also believe it'll be Samuel Montembeault and how he plays. And if he doesn't play well in the first two games, do they go to Dobesh? Does he get hot like a Yaroslav Halak situation in 2010? Can you imagine that happens again, where we put in our backup and he just steals the series? Well, who knows? Because that's not an impossible situation, I think, in my opinion. But I hope Samuel Montembeault has a great start to this series. I really, really do. I think Ivan Demidov coming in here at the end of the season, seeing the talent, seeing the skill that he already has, and how he'll put that to use in this series will make a big difference for the Canadiens on that second line with Patrik Laine and Alex Newhook. And there's been a lot of talk about the frustrations with Patrik Laine this season, but I was reminded from a tweet I saw not that long ago that, Patrik Laine has come into this season. He had a sprained knee, and he's not 100% in my opinion. I think he's been playing he's played relatively healthy since he got back, right? So I don't want to make excuses for him. I think that we need to see him step it up. I think you're going to see every single Montreal Canadiens player step up their game. Whoever's in the lineup, you better believe they're going to be giving it their all, because now these games mean they're not just meaningful games, they're playoff games. These are Stanley Cup playoff games. So whoever gets 16 wins first gets the cup. That's how it works, if you didn't know that. But I think that every player will need to pick up their slack and step up their game if they're going to have success for this first round for the Canadiens. So, all right, Arber Xhekaj. This is a tough subject because I know there's so many Arber Xhekaj fans, and I'm certainly among them. I just have had my issues with how he manages his emotions, and this even goes to Florian Xhekaj too, who just finished a great season with the Laval Rocket, and offensively, 24 goals, 35 points in 63 games, I think it was for Florian. I don't have it right in front of me, but an outstanding season for Florian Xhekaj, his first year pro with Laval. And I'm almost wondering, was Arber brought in a bit too soon to the NHL, and now it's like he doesn't know what to do with himself because he's getting taken out of the lineup, especially down the stretch here. So I mentioned the emotional management of these players and how they're so emotionally engaged, they're so physical with their play that they can really make a difference in sticking up for their teammates and defending each other. But I think with Arber specifically, he just hasn't shown enough yet. Not just that he can't be a physical, relied upon presence, that a guy who can drop the gloves at a moment's notice, but I just think he's being outplayed. I think he's being outplayed by Jayden Struble right now. I think as a puck-moving defenseman, I think Struble makes better reads. I think he makes faster reads. I think he processes the game a little bit faster. So I just think that it's just Arber's a bit of a victim of circumstance because right now he's being outplayed by his teammates. And, who else do we have? I mean, you have your issues with Mike Matheson, but he just plays so many minutes. He's a veteran guy who, when he's not making mistakes, goes under the radar and doesn't get noticed as much. That's kind of what you want in a defenseman. I think that's why Alex Carrier has been so successful this season, because he's a guy that you don't notice that much, and that's the whole point. As a defenseman, you don't want to notice a guy too much when he's just doing his job, making quick, easy, clean zone exits, when he's just making good, responsible plays, winning his one-on-one battles. So I think with Arber, it's a tough circumstance because, you got Caden Gooley back in too, right? And Gooley is a major player on the Canadiens' top four defense pairings going forward for the next several years, right? And then you've got Logan Mailloux coming up, and then you've got Reinbacher and possibly Adam Engstrom being thrown into the mix once Mike Matheson's out of the picture. I think Adam Engstrom could be that guy. I don't know. I'm not convinced fully, but I think with Arber, it's just until other players show that they can't handle the workload or that they really need a change up on defense. I just don't know when he'll get into the series. I think there's a decent chance that he will get into the series at some point because they'll need to change things up if the Canadiens just aren't winning. But do they go with 7D? I don't think they're going to, because that means you take a forward out of the lineup. And as of right now, there's not really a forward that I'd want to take out of this lineup, right? Josh Anderson brings a big physical presence. Jayden Struble can bring a physical presence. Brendan Gallagher always mixes it up. Slavkovsky's a big physical presence. This is a huge audition for the playoffs for him, and he can certainly stick up for his teammates, not necessarily dropping the gloves, but he's done it. He's done it when he's been called upon. And looking at this lineup, I think that the Canadiens are going to have to step up in every way, but in order for Xhekaj to get into the lineup, it's probably going to take some sort of faltering with the game results, right? So I don't know. I just think that Arber hasn't shown enough quite yet to prove that he needs to be in this lineup now. So I hope that changes for him. It's got to be frustrating. It's got to be tough. And we'll see how Tom Wilson is out there. We'll see what happens with Lane Hutson and how physical they are on him. But I think Lane Hutson's going to get hit. I think he will. I also think he's going to make great plays offensively and that he's going to avoid some hits too. He's going to have other guys that can stick up for him. So in terms of that, we didn't really talk about the Washington Capitals lineup. But Alex Ovechkin's goal record was broken. A lot of the focus and energy and attention went into that. But I really think that that's behind them. I don't think that that's going to be putting them that they're going to be out of gas for this series because they fought so hard for Ovi. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to phase the Washington Capitals. They've had enough days off to rest and regroup and refocus on the playoffs now. So I just don't think that's going to be a factor. I don't think fatigue is going to be a big factor for the Washington Capitals. They're going to be riding adrenaline just like the Canadiens are when they come into the series and when they get home, especially in front of that Bell Center crowd. So I just don't think that's going to be a huge ordeal. I'm curious to see how Pierre-Luc Dubois performs in these playoffs. Certainly a big bounce back for him going to the Washington Capitals, bouncing around, being traded a couple of times, things not working out in LA. They've worked out pretty darn well so far with Washington in just one season, right? So he's their second line center with Tom Wilson and Connor McMichael. On the top line, Dylan Strome with Alex Ovechkin and Anthony Beauvillier. Lars Eller is probably one of the better, more underrated bottom six forwards that just always seems to play well. Shout out to Lars Eller, who won the Stanley Cup with the Caps in 2018. Andrew Mangiapane, his left, Ryan Leonard, draft pick that I really wanted the Canadiens to take a few years ago. Brandon Duhaime, Nick Dowd, and Taylor Radish on the fourth line, who folks say that's going to be a tough matchup, I think, for Jake Evans, Yoel Armia, and Emil Heineman. I just think that's been talked about as being a very good fourth line for the Capitals. And on their defense pairings, they got Jacob Chikrin and John Carlos on the top pair, Rasmus Sandin and Matt Roy on the second pair, Alexander Alexeyev and Trevor Van Riemsdyk on the third pairing for them. And then, of course, Logan Thompson starting in net most likely. He's been injured on and off lately, so we'll see if it's going to be him or Charlie Lindgren, former Montreal Canadiens goalie. But Logan Thompson's going to get the start as long as he's healthy. So this matchup is going to come down to how do the Canadiens contain the Capitals' offense, and how can the Canadiens get some depth scoring, hopefully some strong defense, and some great goaltending they're going to need. They're going to need great goaltending from Sam Montembeault. That's what I think. Let me know your comments and thoughts down below, guys, before we start the series tomorrow live on the Drew Deeks channel. Come and join me for the live stream. It's going to be a blast, and I'll see you guys there. Go Habs, go. It's about to begin. Let's do this.